Perfect Getaway. It's the movie where the Star Trek guy from Daddy Daycare smokes crack and tries to take out Timothy Oliphant. Yes, we've ruined the climax right in the opening line, but guess what? The movie's 12 years old, so if that ruined the climax for you, it's your own fault by now. Here's the thing, though. This is one of those movies where knowing the ending doesn't exactly spoil it for you. You can re-watch it and see all of the clues leading up to the big twist.
So here's the setup, and it's kind of genius. It starts with a wedding video of family members and friends talking about this couple and, oh, they're so sweet together, and oh, random stories. And it seamlessly moves in to them on their honeymoon, videotaping each other and having just the cutesiest old time. Just everything is so pretty and la-di-da-di-da.
And it's that merger from the handheld found footage style at the wedding to in the car to in real life that really sells this in the beginning and solidifies the viewer's point of view that this is the real couple. But these are the killers. At this point, they've already killed them and are rehearsing the other couple's backstory, trying to get it down and practicing back and forth in this little mock conversation. But we as the audience think that this is them just being a cute newlywed couple.
My brother hit me with his skateboard when I was 9.
Wait, which brother is this?
That'd be Tommy, the dick from Michigan.
Oh! My little brother getting married before me.
Yeah, I wonder why. Come on, your armpit smells like ass, okay? Will you let the fuck up?
Oh, I came all the way from Michigan to do this one more time. Oh, how does that...
So when watching it again, you can see the tells that both Sydney and Cliff have as they slip back into their real personas. Both are things that they don't normally have on them that they tend to fidget with.
So obviously Cliff wears glasses, but Rocky doesn't need glasses. There's parts in the movie where he's trying to see things far away that he puts his glasses down to use his eyes. Then there's other times where he's trying to read things close up where he does the same thing, lifts his glasses so that he could use his eyes. So when he's wearing his glasses, obviously that's his reminder because it's constantly going to be messing with his eyes. And that's his reminder to be staying in character. When he takes his glasses off, you can see the character shift in him becoming Rocky. Sydney's tell is in the ring. She wants to be married to Rocky. She wants that normal, idealistic life. When she's talking and giving backstory, she fidgets with the ring, and it's a constant reminder that she needs to stay in character.
And then there's Nick and Gina, the real idealistic couple. A badass who's got more skills and more muscles than you can count, and a girl who can apparently field dress a freaking wild boar. These two are strong, both outwardly and in their relationship. So of course, when Sydney and Cliff come across them, they are immediately like, that's who we want to be. And what do they do when they want to be somebody different? And they take their lives. Literally and figuratively.
But there is one thing that's kind of weird about the movie. They make Cliff, the character Cliff in the movie, a screenwriter. And so there's several instances throughout the movie that sort of break the fourth wall in a sense.
3 acts, here with the journey.
You gotta get the details right, Cliff. Otherwise, we're just making another big craptastic movie.
So it would make a hell of an Act 2 twist.
You bring in a character just to fuck with the audience, to try to throw them off track by
It's a herring.
It's a red herring.
It's like calling things out as they're happening.
I think Cliff should have been an actuary. Instead of having Cliff throw out a bunch of movie jargon and just sort of spoon feed you everything that's happening as it happens, you could have had a conversation between Nick and Cliff about how Nick was indeed unkillable. Risk assessment on this guy would have been insane.
Took frag from Bouncing Betty. It's anti-personnel mine.
We rolled 4 times on landing. Wound up in an Iowa cornfield. 112 people dead.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on TV.
Yeah, I saw it from the inside.
The conversations between Nick and Cliff are mainly about Nick trying to become this action hero in Cliff's next movie. But if Cliff had been an actuary, it would have been them discussing how many times this guy should have died. And that would fuel Nick's ego and give him more of a incentive to tell Cliff all these stories so that Cliff can get more background for his new Nick persona.
This is basically like watching Animal Planet. Nick, who is a legitimate predator, being stalked by Cliff, who thinks he's the baddest cat in the jungle. Nick is what Cliff's ideal person is and what he wants to be. That is why Cliff is trying to take over Nick's persona. His tragic downfall is that he thinks that he could actually kill Nick. But what he doesn't know is that Nick is seeing through it. He's seeing little clues here and there that he's not the meek man that he's portraying. In Rocky's eyes, he sees that killer instinct, that sort of predator recognizing another predator.
So then there's Gina and Sydney. While Cliff and Nick are off having conversations about their various backgrounds and what they've done with their lives, Gina and Sydney are sitting around talking about their lives.
What do we know?
Well, she's from Savannah. Her father was a controlling military shit. She rebelled. She met Nick in South Carolina, but he reminded her too much of Daddy. He chased her until finally giving up and moving on, but that's when she got interested in him, of course. It's their first time in Hawaii. They thought Waikiki was a little Las Vegas, but they love it here on Kauai. Girls talk.
But Gina is just as smart as Nick. And that's why they're the perfect couple to survive a horror movie. So while they're having what seems as little girl talk, Gina is getting recon. Gina is the one who, in the end, figures out the truth first. And when she sees who the real married couple is on that tape, she immediately tries to warn Nick. Too bad Nick's a little slow to the punch.
And the climax of the movie is really, it is great. It's great. There's just some things in it that probably should have been done differently. They stop off at a beach, and there's people there. Nick goes and plays football while Cliff and Sydney go and get high, presumably to pregame for their murders. Cliff talks Nick into going on a kayak ride, but then steals 2 kayaks to go and do it. It's too high profile.
Wait, whoa. Didn't mean to scare you. But you haven't seen 2 dudes, 2 kayaks?
How are you going to explain this away? What was going to be your end game here when you bring back one canoe covered in blood, or just not at all? But I will say at the end, there's just one more thing that I find absolutely ridiculous. Anybody else who's been in a helicopter knows how incredibly loud they are. You have to yell basically no matter what in these things. But in this movie, she's just whispering to the other people in the helicopter, all nonchalant like. It was a standoff situation, so it doesn't matter who the real killer was. The police were going to kill whoever was trying to kill somebody. This is what the reality of that situation would be.
Now, we might have told you a lot about this movie, including the ending, but we have not even grazed the surface of the intricacies of these characters and the little nuggets that they leave that you have to figure out who the killer is. It's a very well-crafted movie that builds you up to the possibility that anyone could be a killer. That's how characters are made into red herrings. That is how characters are given suspense and made to believe that, this might be the killer. Oh, but wait, this might be the killer. And that's why you should watch this movie, because you can watch for yourself and look for more details and look for more hints about what could be going down in this movie.
Okay, so they're like a couple? But we keep our game face on. Do not let them know that anything is wrong here. Do you understand me?
You know, it always amazes me how much people talk about themselves when they're on vacation. Talk to people they only just met.
Yeah, suitable for framing.
It's a really good movie. It's so underrated. The journey that the movie takes you on is worth the watch.
Also, Chris Hemsworth is just lickable wallpaper in this movie. Schnozberry.